time for another Coffee with Kilroy, or what I like to call beverage in a book. My beverage, coffee, had a little bit this morning. Hope you are enjoying something as well, something that makes you feel good or something that's refreshing. The book, well, Combat Team, The Captain's War, an interactive exercise in company-level command in battle by John F. Antal, author of Armor Attacks and Infantry Combat. Well, guess what? If you've been following my latest Coffee with Kilroys, you know that I have covered Armor Attacks, deals with being a tank platoon leader, Infantry Combat, which involves you being a rifle platoon leader, and now we have Combat Team, which means you're going to be a company leader, company command in battle. So these, you can check out my previous Coffee with Kilroys. These are, for lack of a better term, kind of very detailed and high-level choose-your-own adventures. These get into the nuts and bolts, the nitty-gritty of being a tank platoon leader in combat and being a rifle platoon leader in combat. Okay, so you're going to be making decisions based on your understanding of leadership, understanding of your capabilities, understanding of the opponent's capabilities, and there's references and context that are put in these books that helps you understand that. But really, this is a novel. I mean, you're going to be reading this as that leader and go through it as you would read any kind of book. This is a combat book, and it will have decision points, and you'll make decisions along the way based on your understanding of the circumstance and your understanding of your capabilities. So this is the third in the series. These were done in the first one, the Armor Attacks, and he is a tank platoon trainer. Or was. This was the first one came out in 91, the second one came out in 95. This one came out in, I think, 98. So 91, 95, and this one came out in 98. And he's a trainer at the NTC in Irwin, or was back in the 90s. So what the other two were dealing with tank or infantry platoons. This one's dealing with a company level command. So this is kind of taking you up a level. You got promoted, and so you're going to be covering combat at that level, at a captain's level, so to speak. So let's take a look inside the book here and see what we have. There's a foreword by General Tommy Franks, Lieutenant General Tommy Franks, introduction, sections 1 through 112. So there's 112 sections, meaning it's like a choose your own adventure, right? That you'll start off with section 1, and that will branch out and tree from there to tell you go to section 2 or go to section 22, whatever. And then once you read that section, it will have a decision. You just keep making decisions and keep branching out. Here's an appendix for weapons data and appendix for the M1A2 tank. So again, there's some reference materials in here that will help you make those decisions. Here's a foreword, and I won't page through this. I can do this introductory part because you're going to read this no matter what. If you want to get these books, I don't know if they're still available. You might want to check out at Amazon maybe, but I won't page through the section areas because that's the spoiler, right? You're going to be reading that, and then based on that situation, you'll make a decision. So, and they're relatively long. It's not just a couple of pages and you're making decisions. Some of them go on for, or kind of like a chapter in a book, and then you'll make decisions at the end of that based on all the information that is contained in there. There's some map symbols because there will be maps because you'll be making decisions based on the situation and what's called for it. Here's some radio call signs. Interesting. This is a higher level of command than the other two. You're platoon leader in that one. This is company, so there might be a little bit more of a command structure that you need to go through here. Here's your order of battle. And then you're right into it. You're right into the game. I mean, this is you'll read this section 1, And I'll flip through this a little quickly here, and then this tells you to go right to 112. So there's not really much of a decision there. It's just setting it up, and you're going to go to 112, and then 112 will probably have some decisions that will be treed off from that. So, and then you've got a glossary in the back to help you out with a little bit of the alphabet soup. Here's an Appendix B that's talking about the M1A2 tank and its specifications. And then you've got an Appendix A, which talks generally about some weapons data there for some of the different your vehicles and equipment and the opponent. So we're going up against maybe T-72, T-62, and the like there. So if you really wanted to get into, I'll just do a quick breeze through here. There's some maps in there to help you with the situation, or help explain the situation. There's some charts or graphs or diagrams that might be in there throughout. Here you have like 3 decisions, or roll the dice. Excuse me. This is a little different. The other ones were just kind of straight up decisions. Here, you roll a dice. In this one, I forgot about that. You roll a dice, and that will send you to a different decision. So there's a little bit of fog of war or chaos of command here. That's the dice are going to change up your decisions a little bit. It's not just a straight linear path of, well, I choose this, I go there. You're going to roll a dice, and so that might factor into what you do. And also it factors into the replayability, right? Because you can play this a couple of different times, and you're going to have some different decisions possibly based on the dice. So that factors in a little bit more than the other books, which were a little bit more linear in their selection of choices. So that's just a quick page through in there. Looking at the back of the book here, you are the hero of this unique interactive fiction. In this, the latest in John Antal's critically acclaimed interactive tactical decision exercises, you are Captain Thomas Nathan Casey, United States Army, commanding a company-sized tank infantry team in combat. Fearing the imminent collapse of their political, social, and economic systems, a renegade Northeast Asian country has launched a surprise attack on its closest neighbor, a country where the United States military forces have been deployed to help preserve the peace. Initially forced back by the overwhelming enemy attack, American forces are bloody but still intact. Combat team hurls you into the turret of a main battle tank as you command a balanced company team, 2 M1A2 Abram tanks platoons and 2 Bradley mechanized infantry platoons in battle. The enemy is determined and skilled. You are prepared to use your superior technology and training to prevail to defeat the enemy in forbiddingly rugged mountainous terrain. What tactics, techniques, and procedures will you apply to conduct decisive tactical operations in such restricted terrain? And sometimes most importantly, will the gods of war smile upon you? What now, Captain? So there you have it. A little bit of a flavor of what you're going to get in this book. This is a little bit smaller than the other books, but still looks like there's a lot in there to be had. So that is the series of these. You can go back. I'll put links to these other ones in here. So, if you want to, you can kind of progress in this series, so to speak. And you can start off being a tank platoon commander, then be a rifle platoon, and then you get to command both, at a captain's level. With this combat team. So anyway, wanted to cover this series in that I think it fits nicely into this evolving and growing aspect of our hobby. The war game books. This is a piece of that. This is more along the lines of the choose your own adventure side of it. And choose your own adventure books have been around forever. But they typically, go into fantasy or sci-fi, and there's not a lot that are dedicated to combat. I've got several that I might do a series on that are really basic and mainly for kids, that go into a little bit of the history, but not and military history, but it's mostly just for kids, and it's mostly history, not so much on the combat decisions. It really is more of a kid-focused choose your own adventure. These are a little bit deeper than that. These, you're making command decisions based on the circumstances, and the language in these are a little bit more adult, of course, as well as what you might find on the field of battle. So thought I'd bring these out. Again, I don't I might have to check to see if these are still available out there. I think they might be, or some of these might be. I found them very interesting. I got these back in the late 90s. This one, well, actually, I think I got some of these in the mid 2000s or early 2000s, the aughts. But I need to go through them again. I found them interesting. I found it engaging. There's a lot of reference material in some of these as well, so that's kind of interesting as well. It's interesting. This one was done in '91. Pre Desert Storm and the like, and it'd be interesting to see how some of these match up to what it took place over time. So this is '91, this is '95, and this is '98. So kind of an interesting, this was based, these books are written by a trainer. This John Antal was I think, a trainer at Irwin, at the base in Irwin, California. The NTC, I believe is what it was called, or the acronym for it. So yeah, I imagine that he's trained people that went into combat. It'd be interesting to see how realistic these bore out. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thanks for spending some time with me. I always am very appreciative of anybody who stops by. Love to see comments. Love to see what you think about these books or this series, or anything that I cover. Love to see comments and get a dialogue going on that. But just thanks for stopping by. And you guys have, a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.